Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. Divisional round preview is upon us. We get to talk about 4 very compelling football games. The market has been a little quiet this week. Only really adjusting to weather news as far as I can tell you. Maybe that is just because we are early in the cycle and there's other things to bet on. Maybe it's because these are all solved teams and good lines. Whatever the case is.
I was going to go with the latter. When you said that, it's like, well, Drew, it's almost like we've had 20 weeks to figure this out. And there aren't like a bunch of real new injuries. And honestly, if you said, well, how am I going to price a team without Nico Collins? You've had 14 chances to figure that out over the last 2 years. He's missed some times, guys. So,
well, I feel like I'm not seeing
numbers.
I'm going to warn everybody off the top. I don't feel like I'm seeing the board super well this week. Last week I was seeing it all. And actually I got spooked off with some winners. I was like, man, the market fucking loves the Packers. I'm not touching the Bears. Like, fuck, the Eagles are just nuclear hot. I'm not betting the Niners, right? Like I definitely talked myself out of some winning looks last week. But that said, I'm not seeing the board super well. So naturally I have 6 bets on sides of totals out of 8. So this should go well. Andy, you got any action so far? Or are you waiting to get a little more information?
I'm similar to you where it's, we talk about the process of betting, and I think any sort of betting, any sort of sport, any sport of prediction that you're trying to look at is like build a case against your bet. And
easy to do that this week.
It's like, honestly, all 4 games are just 2 equal lists of like pros and cons and pros and cons. It's like there are very good pros and cons. And obviously, with the Seahawks Niners game, maybe more of a pros and cons against the spread. But the other 3 games, it's like, I don't know, like Bears winning this game. I don't care that they're a dog here at home. Like, absolutely winning this game. They've shown that sort of thing all the time. And there are a lot of matchups that the Bears do offensively that kind of sync pretty well against what the Rams defense is right now.
Yeah, if they come out and play an A game offensively, the Rams are in trouble. I agree with you.
Yeah, so it is really fun. And
Rams were in trouble last week, and the Panthers played a B game offensively. Like, this is definitely, there's absolutely scope for all kinds of crazy shit to happen. I agree.
And that's funny that you mentioned that because, both games, the Rams game and the Bears games, obviously took some pretty unique paths to getting there where it looked like one team was going to run away with it, and then they didn't, but then they won, and then it looked like a team was going to run away with it, and then they didn't, and then they very much lost. Which I was with you too. Like, I wanted to back Packers. I was scared. I ended up winning. I ended, with that team total.
Did you rewatch Bears?
We took Packers second half. Packers second half was.
I know you've been busy all week. Golf's back, traveling.
I haven't had very little.
Did you rewatch any of the Bears Packers?
No.
I watched the consolidated, and I was like, how the fuck are the Bears winning this? How do they end up winning this? I don't understand.
I do not get last night. I think my biggest takeaway was not that, the Packers defense.
Second time this has happened this year, by the way. So I felt the same way watching the win in week 16 or whenever it was.
And the biggest takeaway for me was not, Ben Johnson put together this masterclass and got the offense going. Like, weird. Like, Ben Johnson did that. Like, Ben Johnson's been doing that for as long as we've known him as a play caller. It's the fact that a shitty defense that's totally reliant on, outlier interceptions, just like getting stop after stop in the second half.
Yes.
Because that's how the game is over. You feel like the game is over. It's like the Bears just aren't going to get enough stops to go punch for punch.
We're just like when the fumble occurs and they don't recover it, and you're just like, that was their chance. That's how they were going to get back into this one. And they let the ball go flying out of bounds, exactly like it. Yeah. But they they did it thanks to who knows. And I would say that I mean, the clear takeaway is that the number one in-game adjustment offensive mind in football, power rated, is Ben Johnson. I don't think that's up for debate.
1-1 with Udinski. Yeah.
Man. Udinski didn't call a great game on the other hand. I don't really know what to make of the Bills, honestly. And we will start there.
Let's should we do them in order?
Yeah, of course.
I'm kidding.
The Buffalo Bills go to the 1 seed Denver Broncos. The market now has the Broncos as a 1.5, depending on where you book. Point favorite. Total sits at 46 or 45.5 if you're Circa. I agree with the Circa shade. I think this is going to be a lower scoring game. I agree with the market flipping Denver favorite. I bet them when they were plus money. I would not bet it at the current price. My fare is like 175. So Denver about roughly 2-point favorites here. I don't see a huge edge laying Denver -1 at current price, which is what, -109 or something like that. The handicap feels pretty straightforward. -107. The handicap feels pretty straightforward. Ooh, hey, how about that? Did you see bookmakers juice is 107 on either side? Nice job by them. They know that the market is sharp as shit. They're down to,
it's usually 108.
They're down to 107 either side. Good on them. Oof, man. They're gonna write some action this week. I don't see a huge edge on laying Denver there. The advantage for Denver on this one is pretty clearly their defense against the Bills offense, which is dealing with a number of injuries to pass catchers in general. If you are going to take on the Denver defense, you like to have at least 2 wide receivers that can create separation and put pressure on their CB2. The Bills have 0. That's a problem.
You made fun of me for bringing up the other wide receiver that got hurt, but like he got hurt because he was playing. They don't have any guys like.
Oh, I know. I didn't make fun of you for bringing it up. I was I didn't even know he was.
You were right. I mean, you were right to make fun of like, hey, who the fuck is this guy? But
it took me Googling it.
There we go.
When I saw like Terrell Shavers torn ACL, I was like, oh, and I was like, is that like a linebacker for the Niners or the Bears?
Yeah.
I was like, the safety and the Bears, like Terrell Shavers, familiar name, but I'm drawing a blank here. Oh, it's a wide receiver for the Bills. Oh, okay, good to know. Another guy down. So anyway, they have James Cook.
Where's
they have
Cole
Josh
Beasley?
Allen.
Cole Beasley actually got a new job. He's up in Minneapolis right now.
Oh, I didn't know that. Coaching for the Vikings?
No.
Oh, what is he doing? Oh, he's nice.
Yeah, that was a Cole Beasley joke.
You missed me entirely.
Yeah, I missed you.
That missed me entirely. That's a good one.
Cole
good
Beasley,
one.
Former rapper as well.
They will hire anyone, including Cole Beasley. All right. The seriousness though, the Bills have a very limited set of weapons. Kincaid and Knox in the passing game. Shakir was awesome. And James Cook. So it's not like they're completely depleted in terms of weapons, but they're definitely one hand time behind their back there. They can still pass block well. They can still run block phenomenally well with their offensive line. However, Broncos don't tend to give up a lot of that. The rushing, kind of the threat of the rush from Josh Allen, in my opinion, is still phenomenally muted relative to when he is at full strength because of the foot and knee injuries he's sustained. And I would be somewhat surprised if the Bills do what they did to this Broncos team in last year's playoffs and boat race them. I think their team total probably starts with a 2 and ends with a low number. Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't go back and look at like the news heading into that game. That Broncos defense was good last year, but it feels like there were some injuries at the end of the year that were kind of affecting it, or not really. It just didn't show up that day.
Well, they were on the road. They were in a bunch of like short fields, and also Josh Allen was like
good that day.
Good then. He was good then. He was 100% healthy.
That's my main takeaway in this matchup is like the Bills are actually a run heavy team, and they probably should remain a run heavy team and try to beat this team, pound them inside, get some, short spots for you're not having to try to beat these good corners and safeties down the field on the outside because you just, like you said, you don't have a very good wide receiver room. You got Pat Surtain, you got a couple of good safeties, Afunga Jones, like Riley Moss is your weak spot. Riley Moss has been playing better of late, and you just don't have enough guys. Like the people that take advantage of like a shit Riley Moss is people who have a really good wide receiver 2 or a decent 3, and you just don't have that kind of room to take advantage of that. It feels like it's going to be kind of run, and that also is a good way to take the pass rush out of the, if you don't want to deal with this really good pass rush, run the ball effectively, and honestly, don't drop back 40 times.
Yeah, run the ball effectively, and like, but the end of the other side of the equation, if you're Denver, what's your defensive game plan? It's honestly like key on
the tight ends.
Yeah, I was gonna say Keon Kincaid. I mean, but even Kincaid is not like as big of a game breaker as he was because he's dealing with all his injuries. I would honestly key on Khalil Shakir. They targeted him 12 times last week. He called all 12 balls, and their entire ability to sustain drives against the Jaguars. Josh Allen got all the credit for push-tushing, as Jim Nantz would say. But the credit really does go to Khalil Shakir, in my opinion. If they can take Khalil Shakir out of this game, then I don't know how the Buffalo Bills are scoring consistently. I would offer this, Andy, the one positive, or at least not the one positive, just like the Denver Broncos defense, I've felt like for a little while is a bit overrated by market. People love like the splash plays that they do, right? The point is they are relatively full strength right now. I don't know about if they will have a full go from Franklin Myers, Greenlaw, and Locke, but I think they will get at least 2 of those guys out there. But they have, like, no question in my mind, they have a top 3 player at a given position. They have 2 of them at all 3 levels of the defense. Like, this is a really, really, really talented defensive roster. Surtain and Hufanga are both top 3 at cornerback and safety, in my opinion. Benito and Singleton are both top 3 at pass rushing and coverage linebacker, off-ball linebacker. And I particularly like Cooper and Zach Allen as far as guys who can make a difference on the line. I don't know. I don't know that I'm like going to be totally surprised if Buffalo finds a way to get an ugly win here. But for me, this is pretty likely going to be Denver wins. The market flip, in my opinion, was people correctly identifying and adjusting the price for the buy and the situation of second week in a row on the road for Buffalo, playing at elevation, altitude, whatever you want to call it. And I don't think we're getting to 46.5 points here, because I don't think the Denver offense is going to be some sort of explosive, high-flying enterprise. They're going to avoid turnovers, and they're going to run it down the Bills' throats.
Yeah, just get to next week, guys. We don't have to do it with style points. I'm kind of with you there. I'd lean under. I agree with you on the movement towards Denver. I liked it, but at the same time, I like Cook to have a big game. Just looking at matchups and stuff. The issue with it,
Cook. Oh, James Cook. I'm sorry. I heard Cooks, and I was like, wait, what? How?
Brandon Cooks. Big game, Brandon Cook. No, James Cook to have a big game. It's like the only matchup that is kind of in their favor. They do run a lot. They do run a lot inside, and that is kind of where you can beat Denver a little. Again, it's not going to be
maybe not a lot of
not a lot of explosives, but again, you take out some of the pass rush. You can do some draw plays and stuff where you get that pass rush, really aggressive pass rush, coming around the edges, giving up some gap integrity, and then you have just Cook takes it for 15 on second down. There we go. And I think the problem with me betting props on him is the probability that this game turns into a game state where they're not able to do that. So I don't know how I'm going to bet him, but I do kind of want to bet him a little bit.
Just kind of cruising through the box score. Broncos haven't allowed a 100-yard rusher since Jonathan Taylor week 2. That said, the Cook and this O-line is kind of on that level. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. You got any thoughts on Denver's offense potentially surprising us going up against the beleaguered Bills defense right now? How are the Bills defense getting stops? Is kind of where my head is at. Because I'm on the under. I'm on Denver. I don't want to go 1-1. I want to go 2-0. And I'm kind of like, am I counting too much on the Bills defense keeping Denver from getting to 31?
It does feel like you can just dink and dunk on this team, though, if you want. Like you said, avoid turnovers. Don't go with high-risk plays. Little pitches to the outside, passes to quick outs, quick stuff over the middle, tight end stuff, running back passes. Like if you wanted to just say I'm fine getting 4 to 5 yards per play for the rest of the day, kind of feels like you just can. Against this defense. It is a beleaguered defense, and there are some nice things that they do, but man, all the stats versus basically anything short or outside is pretty rough. And I don't know, it's kind of what the Broncos do as well. If they just stick to the game plan, they'll move the ball. It's not going to be uber effective at times, but it'll be effective enough, I think, to get them this win. We'll see how it goes. Deep stuff, outside stuff. They have some decent corners, like you said. White's played decent. Benford's good. Bishop got a ball thrown to him, I guess, so he's involved in there too. The secondary's played up a little bit, so I don't know if I'd push it deep a lot. I think it would be a lot of let's cross the street 100 times, just be super efficient, short. 5 yards on first down is a successful play.
I'm not going to eat crow in any way, shape, or form, but I was curious a little bit about whether I overreacted to Tony Romo gushing about Bishop in the early part of that game and whether he actually was good this year. Just because of how many players missed time for the Bills, he was probably their second best defensive player. But as far as safety goes, he's no higher than 8th best at his position in the NFL. Decent chance you could probably conclude he's like 12th to 5th, 14th. But yeah, he's no Kyle Hamilton. He's no Hufanga.
I don't think you have shower fart games in the playoffs. At least not in the second round. You can have one in the first round.
I mean, I'll take it. If it's a shower fart 13-3 kind of game, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you want the under.
I'll take it.
Fine with it being full sad trombone.
I don't think it will be, but this has like 23-20 kind of vibes to me. I'm going to call it there. 23-20. Broncos are up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and the Bills score a touchdown to make it a 3-point game, but ultimately can't recover the onside kick, and Denver runs out the clock. That's, I think, how this goes. You all right with that?
Cook's rushing yards is about 75. Maybe I am just scared off that. I'll bet the second half. Also, I didn't discuss that, but will you do you want to halftimes of the night games, both night games? Will you be around?
I will be around for both. So yeah, sure.
Okay. We'll do halftimes of the night games. I have some sporting events to attend. I don't know if I'll be able to do early games, but night games, for sure I will.
I hate to rub it in. I'm sorry to do this to you and many of the people in our country who listen to this podcast. It is fully summer in January here.
It's 22 here.
Did you know that the warmest measured temperature in the United States of America yesterday was at the Orange County Airport? It is like legitimately dry summer heat, weirdly, here. And we haven't peaked yet. It's going up. It's going to be the warmest day of the week is going to be Saturday. So
you want to hear? All right, just quick aside because we're talking weather.
Yeah.
I don't know what I've been getting. I've been getting all these weird tweets on my For You page about like people traveling to Japan and like the jokes about why would you travel to Japan when you can travel to, and then it's, I don't know what the original said, but it's like Albuquerque. And then it's like the worst person you know is currently planning a trip to Japan. There's like 5 different classes of memes about traveling to Japan suddenly on my For You page. And then I get this map and they're getting like 200 inches of snow or something ridiculous in the high parts. And I'm like, God, we should go on a skiing trip to Japan. Like
skiing there.
Like, did Twitter incept me into and to do this. I don't know if it tricked me. It's some sort of like, straight out of the advertisements you get in like Minority Report or Blade Runner. Either way, I'm probably
Andy,
not
if you want to do some good skiing, there's some great snow a lot closer to you than Japan.
Andy Veit says, get off your For You feed. Okay. Why? I like to have fun. I like to party. I like to see what's getting thrown around.
I like to watch a video that's curated for me and then autoplay into a video that's hardcore porn. That's what I want in my daily experience on my phone as I'm just watching
full
sports.
Penetration.
Anyway, the general, I don't know. I don't feel strongly that we know what the AFC Championship is going to be, or we know who the AFC representative in the Super Bowl is going to be. I think it is relatively flat earth across these four teams. And the advantages are just who has home, who's healthy. And that's why the market is shaped the way it is. I think that the NFC is pretty well Seahawks Rams part 3. And I don't have any more thoughts on the early game. Did you want to close and talk about the Seahawks? Your Seahawks?
My Seahawks. Haven't got to see them in a couple weeks. Obviously, this is a rematch of a game where it was a weird domination game where it's like
where I tried to twist your arm to bet them and you didn't do it.
I know. I liked the Niners. I liked the Niners so much in that game. And I don't know if it was just me overthinking my positions. Like, part of it was us just talking about like what a swing it was if they lost that game for them getting to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl, like
sure.
A huge equity swing if they screw that game up. And
just ask Kyle Shanahan.
So now we've seen that game.
Who lost that game and saw his chances go from the.
So we've seen that game. We've seen the Seahawks have a week off to rest, recover, convalesce. And we've watched the Niners play in a bit of a strange game where they got it done. But at the end, honestly, that last drive, it kind of the way they were giving up chunks and how much timeouts left. It's like, hey, are they gonna F this up? Which I was cheering for. I had an over.
Should have got there. It should have got there.
It probably should have got there.
I think my graded score for that game was like 46 points. What was your over? 44 and a half?
44 and a half. I had like
it should have got there. That should have got there.
This is not Patullo. This is not a broken offense that doesn't seem to understand how to stay, consistent week to week. This has been a very good offense, even when they played some tough defenses. This is not a tough defense. Robert Saleh's great, but man, he is undermanned at this point. He's going up against a good offensive line. He's going up against a team that will pick your ass apart if you're not getting pressure on them. Sam Darnold, yes, we can make all the jokes we want, but when he is unbothered, he is pretty efficient. I think a lot of it is the offensive coordinators and systems over the past 24 months. Maybe less so Darnold, more the systems and players, like to have JSN and Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, I guess, over the past couple of years. It's been nice for him to have some really good play callers, to have some pretty decent offensive lines in front of him. And I just don't know how that doesn't continue. I don't know how the Niners get a bunch of pressure and cause him to turn into that guy that we saw, once all year, honestly. It's been pretty efficient. And then I don't know that they have the coverage to stop what they want to do with JSN. The guy is just a freaking menace. And he lines up everywhere. So you're constantly having to make adjustments. If you want to get your best guys on him and you want to avoid him being able to swap off onto a linebacker or something, you're spending way too much time dealing with that. And then on the other side of the ball, I love Purdy, but Kittle being dead sucks. Ayuk taking the season off, Pearsall playing, but effective, who knows? You're going to put a lot on Christian McCaffrey, and I think you just tune in on that, and you have a bunch of really good secondary pieces that are a boon for the running game even. I don't think you'll run nearly as effectively as you were able to last week, and you're just going to have, hey, we're going to go heavy box and dare you to beat us over the top, I guess, with God knows who, and it can be a Demarcus Robinson game. Good luck with that. This isn't, this isn't last week, and it's another road game. Bad travel spot as far as having to go to the East Coast, come back, and then play another road game, even though it's not that far up the coast, but it is another road game 6 days later. So the line makes sense. I don't think it should be this big, honestly. Like if I just did my raw numbers, I'm not getting a 7.5. But situation wise and matchup wise, it's there.
Yeah,
they did go. Is this the game plan? Is it just going to be, you know what, Juice Check, you're getting 10 targets today?
I don't even know if that works out great for them. You know who the most valuable defender by my numbers was for the Seattle Seahawks?
What's that? Sorry, I had Pizzola responded.
Do you have?
I forgot what I wrote.
Talking about sinners being scary or something. Anyway,
I said the vampires were scary, weren't they?
I got that. That was what I got on my For You page. Is Andy talking to Pizzola about sinners? So I don't know why I care about two shits about that. Anyway, the most valuable player of the Seahawks defense is, in my opinion. Do you want a clue?
On the defensive line.
Do you want a clue? His name ends with a 4.
With a 4. Ernest Jones?
Ernest Jones,
IV.
was unbelievable this year.
Ernest Jones probably happy not to be a Titan anymore.
Sure.
Was he traded for mid-season last year? Was that or was he a Ram? Where was he?
I feel like he was remember. Tennessee?
I think he was a Tennessee Titan.
Ernest Jones was a Ram to a Tennessee, to a Seattle. Ram, Tennessee,
so he
Seattle.
was all of those things. Because I think he was one of the guys where we talked about it last year. McDonald was like going into the season. I need a guy to be able to do what
Roquan Smith did for me. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I'm getting new linebackers. He's got a perfectly fine vehicle. He's trading it in for a different vehicle.
Yeah. He's the he's the Roquan Smith of this Mike McDonald defense. Ironically, he's the what's that?
Paul Mooney's blind pouch is talking about weapons.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to watch that one twice. I need to chew.
It's not saying much. I don't think you need to watch it twice.
I just love it.
It's like okay. It's a weird parable about school shootings that then turns into something totally different. The Ernest Jones is the Fred Warner of the Seattle defense. Fred Warner unlikely to play, right? We're saying no Warner.
0. They've always said next week.
Okay. Both of the games we've covered so far, last one and this one, and I want to piggyback on the point you made where like you can't get to 7 in a neutral setting, right? I can't get to 7 in a neutral setting. I can't get to Denver -1 in a neutral setting. If Josh Allen is healthy and that game is being played week 16 and you're giving me Buffalo +1, I'm banging the table as bet of the week type of shit. But with the bye and the extra rest and the healthier squad and the home field advantage in the playoffs, that's
Let's go back to Ernest Jones. Are you just using like total EPA for who's the most valuable?
Blending EPA, PFF grade, and approximate value from Pro Football Reference. Yeah.
How much? What's your percent? Like you're heavy on EPA though. I feel like
50, 30, 20.
And we're gonna have this conversation right now because we got time. I struggle with that. I'm not saying Ernest Jones is bad. He's an amazing player. He probably is one of their top 3 players. There's no way I could have him outside the top 3 defensively. But EPA gets so jacked up on defense when somebody intercepts a couple balls against the Vikings and takes one back 85 yards.
Of course,
because it's just such a big play. It's something I've struggled with individual stuff, both sides of the ball, where it's like, well, that was just such a big EPA play. And was he really bad today? Or did he have a pick 6 in the red zone to go along with, a really good day as a quarterback kind of thing? So I just wanted to throw that out there. Something to think about in the offseason.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's not something you can replicate. It's not something he's doing. He played a bad quarterback and he right place, right time kind of thing. It's like the Deron Bland conversation from a couple of years ago. Like, is this guy really good? Wasn't it him that kept getting?
Yeah. He had just had 6 pick sixes and was all of a sudden the DPOY favorite. And we're like, get the hell out of here. If he gets 6 more, sure. Why not? Give it to him. I don't care. Right.
Either way, Niners offense against this defense.
Ernest Jones was constantly available for them and was constantly making plays and honestly anchored everything that I thought McDonald wanted to do. Cleaned up a lot. The strength of the Seattle defense, in my opinion, is their rush defense. Good.
Leonard Williams, Byron Murphy, Ernest Jones, Devon Weatherspoon.
Big boys. Yeah, big, strong, physical dudes. And in general, I think there's a gap between the Niners offense and the Seattle offense. You should be power rating and handicapping teams by offense and quarterback first. There are certainly negatives to point to about Seattle and what they do. But the gap between the defenses between San Francisco and Seattle is monstrous. And I think this is a really straightforward handicap. And it is the only true advantage that you can point to for San Francisco in this game is the schematic wizardry of Kyle Shanahan. And I don't think that there is evidence that he knows how to exercise that advantage against Seattle. And I think it comes down to that in terms of being able to manage game state, be able to have a lead at times in the second half of this game. For that to work, you're going to have to come up with ways to generate an advantage without Christian McCaffrey running the ball, because that's not happening in this contest. No, there's not a world where we're in 3 quarters, we're at halftime. We're like, damn, dude, Christian McCaffrey's he's going to go over 100 yards in the third quarter. Like, how in the heck, man, I whiffed on that one. Like, no way. McCaffrey's going to have something like 7 carries for 25 yards at halftime. He may finish with 60, but this is not one on the ground with CMC.
Because you mentioned the big boys up front. It's not just like we mentioned, amount of worries come up and some of the defensive backs, but like the way they gang tackle running backs and anyone who has the ball for that matter in short, it's, what it's similar to? It's the children tackling Amy Madigan in Weapons when they're just coming after her and they get her. Spoiler alert, but
that was good.
We'll talk some Aussie. I did like the end. We'll talk Aussie Open tomorrow for sure. I will say the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard of is the 1-point slam, the 1-point major. And then you watch it and like, no, this is electric. Like they should do this at everyone. This is very fun. If you aren't familiar, go look that up.
It ended up being more fun than the mixed doubles that the U.S. Open did. Ended up being kind of boring.
That was dumb. This was fun. The 1-point slam. So
anyway,
are you concerned at all about Darnold though? I think that's the whole handicap. Like we know that they're going to stop the run. We're going to look for Shanny to try to find ways around it. I don't think he has enough people right now on his offense to do that against this defense. They're going to struggle to score. And the only way to stay in this game is to have a masterclass from Saleh, who again is short on people. He has to be able to, and I think it's just going to come down to
be able to generate interior pass rush somehow. And unless the offensive line for the Seahawks is more injured than I realize, I don't think they're getting much pressure on Darnold up the middle.
Well, that's the thing. I think you have to blitz, and you're just going to have to say, we can't win this game playing base defense. We can't win this game letting it come to us. We're going to have to disrupt Darnold. I'm going to have to blitz and leave myself open. It leaves you open on the back end, and then it's not just JSN, it's everybody else in single coverage, somebody accidentally on a linebacker, somebody on finding big gaps deep in the zone. And
who's got a nice matchup in this game?
People. Who's that?
AJ Barner, tight end for Seattle, actually has a really nice matchup here. I think he ultimately probably unlocks a lot of Seattle's successful drives and would be the fantasy proppy guy I would look at. Niners are very weak at run defense right now. I would consider, if I was Clint Kubiak crafting a game plan, I would lean pretty heavily into my rushing attack. I think the Seattle running attack impressed me a bit more down the stretch than I gave them credit for. They can run the ball pretty well. They're not going to rip your faces off throwing the ball, because Darnold's just never going to be doing that. But they can stay ahead of, stay on schedule, put this Niners defense in harm's way, and I think they're going to get a comfortable win here. I laid 7 minus 113. I don't have a strong opinion on the total. If you made me bet the total, I would take the under, because I think there's plenty of worlds where Seattle wins this like 20 something to 3. For the Niners to win this game again, Kyle Shanahan has to have something up his sleeve that he didn't deploy in Week 18 for some reason, and he's going to have Brock Purdy play the game of his life, and because again, like, on the road in a hostile environment against the best defense in football. Good luck.
I want you to myth bust something for me here. I saw a tweet that said they're going to have Pete Carroll come back and be like the guy who pumps up the crowd before the game.
Please do not.
Was that like, I couldn't tell if it was a shit post or not. See, I'm sure he's loved there still.
You know who I would get? It's a pretty easy answer. It's like super easy.
Cortez Kennedy.
I was going to say Marshawn Lynch, but yeah. Okay. Cortez Kennedy, also amazing. Lynch has done it before. They can't get Lynch.
I'm sure Lynch has done it before. You know what you have Lynch do? You have Lynch come out of you think the team's going to come out of the tunnel? It's a absolutely fucked up Marshawn Lynch on a golf cart, just whipping shitties through the field.
Hold my nuts, dives backwards into the end zone,
throwing Skittles. Yeah. So I teased him with the Hoosiers, as mentioned before. I would consider laying this if we got a cheap 7.
I laid 7. Again, if this was a fully healthy Niners team on neutral rest in the regular season, I probably would be laying 7. But how much is this situation worth? And final answer between the both of these games we're covering on Saturday. How much is the longer rest? The longer rest against short rest. Both the Niners and the Buffalo Bills played on Sunday. They're both on short rest against teams with coming off a bye. How much is this worth?
Couple points.
2.5, 3?
Yeah. 2.5 is where my head's at.
Okay. All right. That sounds right to me. Let's move on to Sunday. You want to set the table for the first one, or do you want me to do it? Texans, Patriots.
Oh, I got this. Texans looked pretty damn good. Honestly, the Patriots, I missed.
I don't know about that, Andy.
Damn good at times. That defense was scary, and that defense remained scary. But honestly, the Patriots defense is the team that shut the other team down out of these two. And I guess I was a little surprised at the ability, or just the conclusive shutdown that we saw at times from whatever. Oh, this is a quarterback that should be in the MVP conversations. That's like, well, maybe that's true if he had an offensive line. I mean, that was just a really tough matchup for him going up against a pretty decent defense there. This is 3.5 still, 3 at some places. Totals still bouncing around that 41. It was a nice win. May got his win. Stroud's got his win. Like, we've got a couple guys who are newish, I guess. Not. I mean, Stroud's been here, but Texans are a strange team for me because it's still a pretty bad offensive line. We talked about it. I just said it. Like, the Patriots were able to take advantage of a very bad offensive line last week. This one's not that much better. And a big part, and somebody mentioned this right away when we were talking about them getting better over the course of they just run 6 guys out there so much. And that's just part of the game plan, and they have to. Like, hey, guess what? We have a 6-man offensive line, and that's what we're going to do, because with the 5 out there, things aren't going to go so swell against certain teams with certain types of pass rushers. And honestly, it's worked at times. It stinks that Nico's out almost certainly, I think, at this point. And I I guess we're gonna have to find other ways to do it. That said, I take this, obviously I take this Texans defense 7 times and twice on Sunday over the Chargers defense.
Oh, yeah.
They probably have 2 guys that let's say that somebody doesn't set the sack record. Like Will Anderson is getting a lot of talk. I gave him love all year. He would never bump up into that top group for DPOI. And then we started to get the narrative around the sack record, and then it was completely a wash. But he's absolutely elite. He should win a defensive player of the year in the next couple of years if he stays healthy. Danielle Hunter's great. The guys in the middle are great. That's the matchup I'm looking at. Is you got a quarterback who gets sacked more than he should versus a very good pass rush in Houston. And
you want a hot take?
Go ahead.
The actual defensive player of the year was Will Anderson.
He was better.
He was better.
I mean, counting stat wise, no, but
he's never going to win that award because you got the other guy broke the all-time sack record. But
yeah,
it's true. Sorry.
He should get every second place vote.
It's a couple funny wrinkles about this game. This one's the toughest handicap, I think, at 3. If it goes to 3.5, I think you can make a pretty strong case Texans. If it goes back towards closer to 2 3/4, which is when I bet it, I think you can make a pretty good case Patriots. I think modal outcome Patriots land 3 a lot. I think this is a tough handicap.
Agree with you.
Did you know this was an ESPN game? That we're going to get Joe Buck and Troy Aikman in the middle of the day on Sunday?
That's going to feel weird.
That's going to feel real weird. And it's also, I don't remember if this is the first year we've done this, but divisional round has a CBS game on Saturday, a Fox game on Saturday, an ESPN game on Sunday, and an NBC game on Sunday. So we're touching all the bases across the 4. You remember, of course, for many, many years, this was just 2 Fox, 2 CBS.
And that was for the longest time. That was all there was. And then you had to watch ABC for Monday Night Football.
Yeah. Sad thing about that is we're done with Greg Olson for the season.
Yeah.
That guy rocks.
Under the crossbar. Yeah, that under the crossbar kick was really something. And I think that's the biggest part about what Houston, and you saw it versus a much worse team. And I don't want to take anything away from the Pittsburgh Steelers. They had a pretty nice season. They deserved to be in the playoffs. It maybe would have been more fun to have Lamar, but they deserved to get there. They won a bunch of close games. They were gritty about it, but they're clearly much worse than the Patriots. And that game was very much in the balance because of a bunch of fumbles, some turnover luck, some things not going Houston's way. And Houston needs to be a front runner. And that, I think that's kind of where I'm at too, where if Houston's able to get out to a lead with that pass rush, they can probably do it again. They can beat this team. They can advance, but it can't be from hey, we got to come back from multi-scores down late. Hey, we have to, we have to chase the whole game. That's just not the game state you want to see them in.
Obviously the defensive touchdown that gave Houston some breathing room in the fourth quarter was a pretty important play. But for me, the turning point was really that deep shot to Kirk, at the end of the third quarter. Like if they miss him there, we're living in a totally different reality, right?
We're doing this again.
What was your turn?
Understand.
I mean, can you disagree? Was that not the turning point?
I see what you did too.
No, seriousness.
You know what his yardage
that was
total
the
was?
most important part of the game, because if they don't sustain that drive, and they didn't even get a touchdown, I don't think, right? They got like a field goal or whatever. I don't even remember. But if for whatever reason they end up having to give the ball back to the Steelers, and the Steelers can just eke out some kind of long, shitty drive and score some points, it's definitely a different paradigm. But I do think that there's 2 ways to read that, right? Like the Texans shot themselves in the dick for 2.5 quarters, and then finally got that big play to kind of give themselves a little wind in their sails.
It wasn't just like shooting, like they were shooting themselves in the dick with like an automatic, like just repeatedly.
Yeah. Just lucky they didn't give up defensive touchdowns. Anyway,
I couldn't believe they didn't give up some sort of scoop and score. The ball was just constantly out there, and it's crazy because I don't know what the game plan is offensively. Kirk's yardage total for that game was like 30.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't expecting to get a 100-yard game out of him. Yeah.
They do have kind of a balanced attack right now, but some of that was because they were playing the Steelers. I just say this is a choose your own narrative kind of game. There is a world where the fourth quarter going so positively for Houston is like wind in their sails, and now that offense is a little bit more confident coming into this one and is able to kind of give the Patriots a decent shot. Right, like this is a step up for the Patriots defense going from the Chargers to the Texans. I know that sounds insane, but the Chargers were absolutely useless at the end of the season offensively, and things were broken, like fundamentally broken. And rewatching that game, like that was one of Herbert's worst games of his career. And you wouldn't even know it because last year he had a playoff game where he threw 4 picks, and it looks grosser on paper, but Herbert was awful in that game, and that. Some of it was due to the Patriots defense giving him surprising looks, but a lot of it was just because the Chargers offense was broken by the end of the season. The Houston offense could come in with a little bit more wind in their sails, be a little bit more of a live fight here. And in that world, like it's going to be fascinating to see if the Patriots offense wins out over the Texans defense, because you know what else is a big step up, Andy? I'm going to say small step up, Chargers to Texans. Monumental step forward, facing the Steelers offense versus facing the Patriots offense.
Yes,
it is. Like this, I will make a very full-throated case that the best offense clearly left in the playoffs is the Rams offense. I think that it is a smaller margin than anyone realizes between the Rams offense and the Patriots offense right now. I think the Patriots are 1B to the Rams 1A. I really do. Like they are a great unit. It took them a while to find their feet in that game against the Chargers, but they were playing a well-coordinated defense that plays really tricky coverage for them. And it didn't look as good as it could have, should have, whatever, for a while. But eventually they clicked in and found their form. Where I'm going here, Andy, is I think the best bet in this game is pretty obvious. I think it's the over.
Really?
I think this is the best. I think this is one of the best. I think this is the best bet of the weekend, actually.
Really? Well, you've been hot. I had very middling results.
I think this is going to be. I think this is going to be full on fucking explosive fight. CJ Stroud can hit explosives.
I guess I just don't.
Drake May can hit explosives.
Without Nico in there, and here's the thing, Drew. I think
all their young pass catchers can contribute, man. They're young pass catchers. I think
you're dead in the water if New England goes up. Like if we get into a game state where New England is up, it's late in the second quarter. It's 10-3, 10-0, 13-0, 14-0. You're dead. You're absolutely smoked, because then the deep balls are done. We're done doing high risk plays, even though they're great. It's just dink and dunk, and New England can absolutely just play. They can play ball control at that point. Like for you to get yours home, Houston needs to be very effective early in the game. And I just didn't see that last week.
I think Houston's defense is good enough in run stop, especially if they're committed to it, because it's if it's effectively decided and they're just trying to get additional possessions, I think they're going to get them. What they do with them if they don't score is a very fair point. But like anytime you play a total over, you're trying to avoid a lopsided game state, unless it's.
So everyone looks at the deep stuff. The Patriots are also number one in EPA in short passes. They don't need to run the ball to extend the game. They can do little stuff. They can do a lot of screen work. It's somewhere that Houston's good too. Houston's good everywhere across the defense. That's tough. I envision more game states where this is a slow, grinded out second half than not. So I struggle with that.
I think there's a world where this is a very competitive game and it's score and answer. I think the fact that you have a kicker for the Texans who can hit 1,000,000-yard field goals is valuable. I think the fact that Drake May is the archetypal quarterback that can give this Texans defense problems is important. The Texans are a Jekyll and Hyde if they are up against a quarterback who can't handle the pressure, like Aaron Rodgers, versus a quarterback who can not just not like elude pressure a la Pat Mahomes, right? But who can overcome, relatively frequent negative plays like sacks, right? Like that is the entire playbook of what we got from Drake May this year. He gets sacked, he hits a 15-yard pass on the next play. He gets sacked, he hits a 30-yard pass on the next play, right? Like he is able to answer with quasi to legitimately explosive plays to get himself.
They are a weird offense. Like
down
it's
and
one step forward, 2 steps back, five big jumps forward.
Five.
It's like, oh, there's an effective first down, and then he's sacked for 14 yards.
Yes,
there's a 40-yard pass in the outside to
yes.
Moody again.
Yeah, that's just the nature of when you have a quarterback who's as capable as Drake May is of hitting home runs. And I think that the Texans defense is getting a little bit kind of favorable reframing here. They are great. They would be number 2 for me after Seattle. But you can hit home runs on this team. Absolutely you can. And we've seen a lot of teams do it. And I think the Patriots are going to do it. I think there's
again, I honestly you're building my narrative. That's where I'm worried that they hit 2 early home runs and then the game just grinds to a halt. It ends up
because we've never seen the Patriots up 21-0 let a team back in.
I don't know. This ain't Josh Allen.
CJ Stroud's not a bad quarterback, man. People are ready to bury this guy because he was fumbling and looked like an idiot, and then a couple big downs.
I still don't know what was going on. It's like he didn't know the snap counts. You're the one that tells him the snap counts.
It just like looked like he was too geeked up. Like he looked like he was
staring off into space.
He just looked like the game was moving a little fast for him for whatever reason. I think it was the environment. I think it was he had a little bit of the I'm on Monday Night Football. Everybody's
they're
watching,
at home this week, so it'll be
fine. No, but they're not. They're playing in the early window, which I think matters. Like honestly, if this is a later window game, I'm more Patriots and less over. But the way it stands now, and
I honestly don't know how the market is matured. Do this every week. Play it noon. Just from my very limited high school experience,
it's noon Pacific.
We'd play one game a year that was at like 3 p.m. The rest of them were Friday night lights, 7 p.m. It's dark out. Like the difference in like the intensity of like a crowd and stuff for even a tiny high school game is like it's just shitty at 3 p.m. It's crazy how I don't understand how they play these games in the middle of the day to begin with. You're right. A night game, the energy is so much more different. So maybe that's.
I think this is I think this is the game of the week. I think it's the highest scoring game of the week. I think Drake May is your number 1 passer of the week. He's like 6-1 right now in that market. There are some people told me there was like 7.5 to 1 at FanDuel. I think there's absolutely a world where Drake May is the only quarterback this week that gets into the 300-yard range. You got an opinion on that?
I see a game state where he has 200 yards at halves, finishes with 225. He's done that.
Okay. I think he's gone for 300 in this one.
Very cold, yes, and somebody brings out the factor. It is an indoor Stroud. He played last week outdoors. It's going to be even colder, I think. It's going to be about freezing. There's going to be a little bit of
flurries, potential for real snow.
Not much for wind, but there's going to be some snow.
No wind.
So we'll see.
I
pass on grass here.
I like the over. I like the Patriots a little. At price, I'm not dying to lay 1-19 with these guys. I guess just for the record, I played over 40.5 minus 108 on Texans Patriots, and I played Patriots -3 plus 102. If you made me take a seeker pod play for the week, it's Patriots team total over. I think this team is scoring.
I agree, and I disagree with your over. I think there's a lot of scenarios where the Patriots win by volume here. It's just Patriots by 14. I think if I do end up on this game, I'm going to dig in. I may play like Patriots -7.5 or something.
Okay. That said, if the Texans win, I'm not going to be surprised. It does feel like there's potential for the Patriots offense as being a little overrated because they played a broken defense. The Patriots defense is a little bit overrated because they played a broken offense last week. But I also think that
I think they're good.
Texans defense is coming in hot because they played Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Houston in a game state where they're leading, where they're front running, that defense is scary as shit. But at the same time, if you are just trying to kill the clock, it's the same thing as I mentioned in the other game. Hey, let those pass rushers get really aggressive on the outside, beat him with screen pass after screen pass right overhead. Will Anderson just running back and forth like that all day long as you're just getting 6 yards on a little screen pass every time. Good enough for me if I'm up 10 points. So.
Yeah, I think this game threatens 50.
I can see it. I'm not disagreeing that it could happen, but I don't think there's a middle ground. I think it is New England's leading and this game grinds to an under, or if it's back and forth, you're going to see more than that. 55.
Second week in a row on the road for the Texans. Second week at home. Third week at home. Patriots haven't left Foxborough in a long time. All right, man.
All right. The Rams Chicago set me up.
It will be cold in Chicago for the final kickoff of divisional weekend. The Rams head to Chicago, their second week in a row on the road. We have 3 teams that are second week in a row on the road because they won as wild cards, Andy. 4 teams. I'm sorry. All 4 games feature a team that is second week in a row on the road. And I bet the Rams as the only one of those 4. They take on a Bears team that absolutely has magic, that is playing with house money. I don't think anyone expected them to be in round 2 of the playoffs this year with a home game. Why can't us? And the answer to why can't us is because you don't have a healthy defense anymore. Your defense was never especially good, but at least you had players. Now you're really, really at the shit end of the injury situation. The Rams come in with the number 1 offense in football, as just previously discussed. The strength of the Rams offense is actually depends on the day. Sometimes Sean McVay decides today we're going to be a physical running team. Sometimes he decides today we're going to throw it 50 times. And Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams are going to score 2 touchdowns apiece. Sometimes it's a little bit of both. We're going to go heavy personnel. We're going to run. And then when we get into the red zone, we're just going to throw it to a guy that wears number 80 something, who's white, who you've never heard of, who scores a touchdown. The efficiency and the kind of ability for the Rams to get theirs in this game, I don't think is under question. Even in the freezing cold, even Stafford with a broken finger. I think everybody he doesn't have a broken finger, obviously. I'm overstating that. But even Stafford with a sprained finger, I think the reasonable expectation that the Rams are going to get into the high 20s will be met. The question becomes, can the Bears answer? The Bears are a good offense. Ben Johnson is an offensive wonderkind. He is an in-game adjustment maestro. And he is going up against a Rams defense that has the healthy whiff of Fugazi. They got beaten pretty aggressively by the Panthers at points in that game that were as difficult to understand and explain. The Panthers, a little bit of Bears light going on there with what they run. The Bears offensive line going to be missing a left tackle. Could be impactful. But otherwise, that offensive line has been a huge strength of this team in terms of keeping them on schedule by developing outstanding run blocking lanes and giving Caleb Williams time to make some magic out of the pocket, out of structure. None of the out of structure stuff that Caleb does to me feels random. It all feels somewhat planned by, somewhat we've put guys in certain positions to make things happen when the play breaks down. And for what it's worth, the pass catching unit for the Bears is available. They have 4 people that they can hurt a weak secondary with. I think if you're making the case as a Bears fan or as a Bears bettor, you're literally just like, all we need is the ball in Caleb's hands in a 1-score game as time expires, and he'll find a way. I don't think there's any world really where the Bears race out to a lead and play keep boy. I don't think there's any world. I think there's many worlds where the Bears we saw the best of them, and they just have what we saw in the first half for 3 or 4 quarters, and this is not a very compelling or competitive game. The Rams should have a relatively run-heavy personnel package approach for this one, and put this thing away, walk it in. I think the Rams are the right side. I think they're going to Seattle next week. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'm not super worried about this one.
We keep getting to this point, and I guess we can blame some of this on just Love and LaFleur and what they decided to do later in the game, but this is not a good secondary, even with people back.
Which team are you talking about?
The Bears.
yeah, I know. It's like if you can't.
Well, I don't know.
They're both
the
bad.
Rams can be beat deep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
so,
that's what I'm saying.
despite the fact that I think they're going to lean into the run, it's going to be cold. Why wouldn't you? You should be able to run the ball as well too. Like, who's stopping Puka besides him hitting his head super hard or getting hurt, like, which happens every other game. So he is due for a couple trips to the blue tent. Honestly, I wish you could bet on that. Like, well, Paulie Marks should have that up. Puka goes to the blue tent, 80 cents to the yes. Like, I'd probably take that. Yeah, I don't know what the game plan is going to be from McVay, because it just does feel like, hey, you should be able to just run. You should be able to do short stuff. You should be able to work your super famous 13s personnel that you love to, do constantly and just hit all of these tight ends all over the field. But at the same time, if you want to put the foot on the neck early, like, you can spam Puka across the middle of the field on the outside, and then Devontae Adams in the red zone, tight ends filling in the empty gaps there, like the little like the frog DNA in Jurassic Park, and suddenly you got yourself a dinosaur, and you're up 24-3.
Well,
that's the beauty
of the Rams offense. They can do it so many ways. They're not we're going to force them to beat them with their hands tied behind their back. They're ambidextrous. You tie the right hand, they're going to beat you with the left hand. You tie the left, they'll beat you with the right. I really think that.
Yeah, I don't know what the game plan is for that. Who's the worst coordinator left in the playoffs?
I can't really name the offensive coordinator for the Broncos off the top of my head. Can you?
What is his
That's
name?
probably a bad thing. It's Joe Lombardi. That's who the
Lombardi.
worst is.
Yeah, Lombardi and Vance Joseph, and then you've got
who's the D coordinator for the Bills? He's also bad. He's not a coordinator though, right? They have Bobby Babich.
I know.
Is the defensive coordinator.
Babich.
You knew that? You knew that?
No, but it's one of those things. As soon as you say it, like, yeah, Bobby Babich, and then Saleh, and we'll just say Shanny, because we're not counting that. Make let's just say McDonald and Kubiak, and then McDaniel, and who's the Patriots DC?
He's the guy that. Technically, they have a guy acting because the guy they started the season with got sick.
He got health problems.
Terrell Williams. He basically never was the DC all year. And the guy that is calling the defense is, honestly, he called a magnificent game last week, I thought. Acting. I don't know why I have trouble finding it. Anyway, carry on.
You got Kaylee and Matt Burke. I'm just saying it's probably Dennis Allen. Right?
Yeah, I'm not going to stop you.
Name the coordinators. That's a fun game. Oh boy, I wonder how many we could get if you did the whole. That's a fun Friday activity for a different day. A bunch of them got fired, so maybe we shouldn't even try
Zach
that right
Kerr,
now.
Inside linebackers coach Zach Kerr, stepped into the primary role when Terrell Williams got cancer. I forget what he has.
It would have taken me a while to get to him.
Yeah. Anyway, I agree.
Name the tight ends coaches.
Dennis Allen is the worst, sure.
I don't know what his game plan could possibly be. What's his game plan? Well, we're at home. Hopefully we get some picks.
I guess. I mean, that's
It's a healthy offensive line.
That's part of their identity at this point. I don't think they're going to get picks, but maybe they get some fumbles.
Semi-unflappable.
Actually, you know what the Bears game plan is, Andy?
What?
We're gonna beat them with special teams. Because our
Rams
special teams
special
is good and their
teams
special teams
bad.
suck.
Rams special team. Oh my god, when that kick got blocked, your fucking face, dude. You went white. I looked at you right away, and you looked sick to your stomach. How? You were. I think you might have had your hands up. Like, how did I not see this? How did I not see? And that's all you said to me. It was like Rams special teams. Like, yep.
It was only a matter of time.
It was. God.
The surprise wasn't that it happened. It was that it took this long. Anyway.
What is your prediction for the special teams gaff that we will see this weekend by the Rams? Your choices are kick return, touchdown, punt return, touchdown, blocked kick, blocked field goal attempt, return.
Yeah, I'm gonna give the ghost of kick returners.
Ooh. You know what? Or short field goal returned by a.
Oh man,
hanging out under the goalpost.
Oh god, that would be
muffed punt is up there.
Devin Hester, the ghost of Devin Hester, is going to help the Bears run back a kickoff. I think in this game, the opening kickoff.
I didn't know.
And then, no, he's not. But his spirit, occupies that field, and it's going to help. It's going to help the kick returner take back the opening kick, and then it's going to be Colts Super Bowl from that point forward. Stafford picks his number in the mid-30s, and the Bears lose going away. That's the way I feel about this one. I don't have a lot to say about this game. I'm excited to watch it. I hope it's entertaining. The Bears have been so fucking fun to watch all year long. And there's a world where this is Bears-Niners again, right? Whereas like the Bears just keep scoring every time the Niners score. And then one time it's a field goal and not a touchdown, and this lands around 4. That wouldn't shock me at all.
What's your fair price like in this?
Let me pull that up.
It ain't
That's a
4.
very good question. I am at almost 6. What about you?
No.
Where are you? What's your Bears number right now then?
My Bears number is like a 3.
Oh, well, that's where we disagree. I'm not.
It's still such a good offense. So let's give them like a full 3 at home. Oh man, I don't know. Let's give them less than that. I don't know. I'm not there. Like I'm. My numbers say bet the Bears because I still think they're a plus. Like, where would you put the Bears? I know the defense isn't good. This offense is good enough and it's healthy now that matters a ton in their home. Like, I don't think they should be this big of a dog, but
I crank up offense for the playoffs, man. And
okay.
the offense for the Rams is so damn good.
So it's like a 7 versus a 3 for me. And then you give it 1.5, 2 points home field, and suddenly you're at a 2. So I disagree with the number, but I couldn't bet on the Bears any which way but money line.
Yeah.
I will probably be involved in the Rams offense somehow. I know somebody mentioned the team total is about 26.5. That's bettable, in my opinion.
For who? For Rams?
Rams over.
Yeah, Rams over. God, I would love another rerun of Bears Niners. That was so fucking fun. That's actually the game.
The ghost of Prince better play halftime. Was Prince the Bears Super Bowl, or was that the?
No, he was. Was he?
That was
no. That was in. He was in the Prince Super Bowl halftime show. Was XLI? That was no. That can't be right. AI just could not be more fucking wrong about this stuff. Oh no, it was 2007. 2007 in Miami. That was the same year as Devin Hester and Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's why AJ Donaldson said it.
That's why I missed that.
My favorite thing is the cartoon that says like guy uses AI to take a picture of a mushroom. Hey, is this mushroom poisonous? And AI's like, no. And then he's like, Dad. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry. You were right. Would you like more information about poisonous mushrooms?
Did you know that there's a poisonous mushroom epidemic going on in California right now?
Really? What do you mean?
Yeah, because of all the rainfall that we got in the month of December, we have a bumper crop of death cap mushrooms, and people are out there foraging, and they're using their digital tools incorrectly to identify mushrooms. I'm not kidding. There's like three people have died. There are 3 people who are in critical condition that need liver transplants.
We have morels here.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Anything else? So do you have anything going? You didn't make any bets then. You're gonna
Seattle teaser, baby.
That's it.
You know what? I might just go.
Andy's doing the classic. I won a bunch of money. I know when to walk away.
I'm gonna find.
I'm out here firing like an idiot into sharp lines. So that's, if you wanted to know who's the more mature bettor, it's Andy.
So here's the thing, Drew. Though, and this is maybe just good advice for anybody who's betting. If you think you're seeing it clearly and you have an edge, don't go the other way and be like,
that's why I'm spraying.
Okay, well, to throw Drew out, this is someone smarter who thinks they have a really big edge on a game. Just because you had a good season, don't pack it in. Be like, well, I should avoid this edge. Like, it's just an extension of the season, guys. And I know it does get tougher as the lines get sharper throughout the season, but don't just pack it in. At the same time, don't press it. Like, there is a middle ground of be smart, bet like you always have. Just stick with the process, and that's kind of where I'm at too. Where there were weeks I made 25 bets if you count props and half times and lives. Sure. There were weeks where I 5-6. You know, it just kind of let it come to you. Don't go pressing them. That said, I'm sad that I don't have a lot of bets, so I'm gonna go
give Patriots Texans over some more thought. And let's talk about it tomorrow and see if you can come up with the red team on that one for me. I know you did on this pod of like, well, what if the Patriots are up by 2 touchdowns and the Texans haven't scored? I don't know. I need more on why the Texans haven't scored. Nico Collins being unavailable is not enough.
He's a very good wide receiver.
Yeah, he is. But they have a really good young group of receivers. They can all do different things. Last time Nico Collins was out, I feel like the Texans won going away, hitting Noel and Hutchinson. They were just they just exploded for them. I remember betting the Texans that day.
Was that a playoff game on the road against the Patriots?
No, it was a game at home against somebody.
Yeah, I know that's just what's screwing with me here. It's like it's such a bad spot for that to be happening against. Honestly, I have New England higher than the Rams offensively. Because I don't know that. I do know.
You have them higher than the Rams. You were acting all surprised that I was saying that it was 1A, 1B.
Slightly. No. I was surprised you didn't have some other teams in there.
Oh.
Like my Chicago Bears. I'm kidding.
Chicago Bears are top 10.
You know the team that's really screwed with the ratings all year is Dallas. Because I've had them just, hey, this is a top 10 offense all year long.
Dallas and Green Bay. Yes.
And it's like, but it's a 32nd ranked defense, but I weight them so differently. So it's like, I constantly had Dallas in the mix with the playoff teams for a power rating.
Same.
And it was very annoying. New England, New England ever so slightly better. And some of it is just, with my eyeballs, don't think Devontae Adams is close to being 100% right now.
It sounds like you're making a case for Drake May to be the passing yardage leader for the weekend. There's a case against everybody else. There's a case against everybody else.
Let's do that. Let's pick our leaders, passing, rushing, and receiving real quick before we go.
Okay. Passing, Drake May. Rushing is going to be... Man. It's such a split for Denver and LA. I think you got to pass on all 4 of those guys. I'm going to go with Walker. I think Walker is due for a nice game against a very bad run defense for San Francisco. Receiving.
I'm chalky there. I'm going to choose Puka.
I think that's right.
I'm going to go James Cook, Sam Darnold. Just to be clear, Cook rushing, not passing.
And Sam Darnold passing, not rushing.
Sam Darnold passing. Yeah, Sam Darnold's rushing. If you think Sam Darnold's going to be the rushing leader, You may want to bet is over 6.5 yards. So
I think last week we were calling Drake May for the rushing leader. I think he finished second, didn't he?
Third.
Oh, third.
I
Who
don't
beat
know.
him besides? I think he was I think the second highest rusher last week, but I didn't track that to the close. Once he didn't get Barkley, I gave up following at all.
The rushing leaders were he got ETN. ETN outdid him by a yard.
Oh, he did?
Herbert had 50. Again, this is AI, so maybe we should stop fucking Google. Stop using
I
that.
know.
All right.
It's brutal.
ETN had 67. Drake May had 66. And then Saquon and Woody Marks are above him. So he was fourth, but close to third. Saquon had 106 yards.
The game I was thinking where Nico Collins was out, by the way, was October 26, 2025. Niners at Texans. CJ Stroud just carved that defense. 30 for 39, 318 through the air. He had Hutchinson had caught 5 for 69. Noel caught 5 for 63. Braxton Berrios got involved. That was a wild game. Jaden Higgins was 4 for 34. All the young guys contributed.
Longest rush of last week.
May was close. He had like a 36-yarder.
That was it. I don't think anyone.
It was?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, hell yeah.
Barkley was 29. That was the second.
He had a big one, yeah. All right. Last final piece of trivia for you. We didn't account for this, but I just want to know if you know this off the top of your head. It is the second week of the playoffs, which means it is rare to have a debutante, but we got one. He is
Knicks?
Nope. He
I thought he
lost
played
to the Bills
year.
last year.
Yeah, he played last year.
Seattle head coach Mike McDonald making his first.
Oh, I thought you'd say quarterback.
No, debutante.
Yeah.
The coach and quarterback.
That is pretty
kind of goes together.
Your first playoff appearance. He should have. To be fair, he should have had a playoff appearance last year.
Yeah. Also, his offensive coordinator Clint Kubiak making his first playoff game plan.
Not worried. Well, me worried.
Seattle, the biggest favorite on the board, and all of a sudden you're like, oh shit, man. That's the way I felt about the Rams last week. I was like, this shouldn't be a sweat, right? It was.
It's always a sweat.
Spoiler alert, it was. All right, man.
It's the playoffs, baby.
Let's call it here. Good show, and we'll be back tomorrow to the audience who tuned in to find out. It's more than just talking about wine. It's actually about football. It's handicapping a specific market in a way that you'll find entertaining.
Schaefer and McDavid share the S night. Maybe McDavid can learn a thing or two.
Passing. This many are saying this is the passing of the torch.
Yeah, McDavid should retire.